Where's the start button? Hold on. I got it. Where is it? Good evening, good morning, simply hello. To whoever you may be, my dear friend, welcome to Coffee Break. The place where you can relax and enjoy your brain's sweet, sweet release of serotonin as you sip on your dollar coffee. The dollar coffee that you bought from the vending machine. You know the one. Whether you're hiding from your boss or just taking a breather from life, whatever the case, welcome. Today's mental break is brought to you by me, your host, Mason, an egotistical butthead who just enjoys life. I take it pretty gun-ho around here. So what is this? What am I doing? What am I sitting at my desk recording a podcast for? Well, I do have a small YouTube channel, and I decided, well, editing's getting hard. Well, what do you do when editing's getting hard? You do the most simplest thing on the planet. You talk and not edit. So, I'm going to minimize my editing and make this as raw as possible, if you know what I mean. What is a podcast? I honestly don't know. I guess one thing that's inspired me to start this podcast would be SCP Foundation. I like listening to horror at night before I go to bed. It's something about getting spooked, or should I say, the tantalizing feeling of someone watching you as you slowly fall asleep at night. As creepy as that may be, it's interesting. I guess there's many different types of podcasts out there, and I'm just trying to take my little part in the view. Trying to put something out there for those who do want to watch my content. Trying to appease the ever-growing mob. I guess podcasts are pretty popular when you think about it. I mean, I haven't taken enough time to, but what truly is a podcast? This is why we have Google. A podcast, according to Google. A podcast is an episodic series of spoken word digital audio files that a user can download to a personal device for easy listening. Streaming applications and podcasting services provide a convenient, integrated way to manage personal consumption, queued across many podcast sources and playback devices. Thank you, Google, for your ever so insightful help in my life. Because I need it. I guess one thing is why I started this. Sorry, I'm moving the mic. I guess one thing is why I started this is I wanted to podcast, but nobody really knows what they want to podcast around. Sometimes they want to answer questions. Sometimes they want to just get on the mic and go with it, kind of like I am. Sometimes they want to act, and they want to do voice acting in it. They want to create something new, some new horror tale or a new story, or they want to talk about the news, and they want to bring people together through empowerment of the voice. I get that. And I guess many other things. There's like, I'm looking at the gaming world, I'm looking at anime, I'm looking at YouTube, and I'm looking at Spotify. There's all these different cultures of media that people like to put their thoughts into, and then they record it, put it on the internet, and people watch it via podcasting. I don't want to change it, but I want to make something new. Everyone wants to make something new when they create a podcast. So how do I create something new? How do I put this together and show you, my audience, that I want to give you a break from life? Maybe that is what this is for. I want you to pop your earbuds in the morning and listen to my voice saying, welcome. Here's a coffee and here's a hug. Now get to work. You know? Because I know the first thing in the morning that I don't want to do is get out of bed. But hey, if my voice is able to make it something that you can get up, makes you want to go grab that cup of coffee and get a start on the day, then hey, let me do that for you. Yeah, I guess that could be my podcast. Something I've always enjoyed was that feeling of... No, before I start down that rant, here's the rant I want to make. I am not a morning person. Any way, shape, or form. I will get up early. To those who know me personally, I will get up at 3 to 5 o'clock in the morning to go to work. That is what private construction will do to you. Yep. So one thing I have enjoyed though is if I get up early and I look forward to the day. That is that feeling that I want to give to you. That feeling where you get up and you have a goal that you want to do. Because granted, I know there are days that you will wake up in the morning and you don't want to move. That bed became the most you are locked down to that bed is the most comfiest place on the planet. It's like you're back in your mother's womb. It's that comfy. It's delight. It's funny how our brains do that. Like when we try to go to bed, it's the most uncomfortable thing on the planet. But once we fall asleep, we never want to leave. It's glorious. But that feeling when you actually got a good night's rest, even if you have 2 to 3 hours, but you feel great because you actually want to wake up. You want to grab that coffee. You want to grab that tea. Whatever your preference is, You want to get up and go. And I want to be there. I want to support you through that. Well, there's a reason why this is going to be called Coffee Break, because honestly, you don't even need a coffee to take a break. Everyone needs a little mental break in their ear, So wake up. Good morning. Good evening. If you're taking a break from sweeping the floors as a janitor, then take your break, my man. If you're in the office, then my brother, go grab that cup of water that you need. You need it. Your brain's getting quite dry out there. Or if you just need to listen to someone while you mow the lawn, go right ahead. So yeah, welcome to Coffee Break. So, now that we've established what this podcast is going to be, how do we start it? Well, I do know I want to do a 12 series, and I hope everyone enjoys what I'm going to present. Later on, I am going to show some clips of the Coffee Cast, the people who are helping me out through this. We're going to be reviewing Florida Man reports. And oh lordy, I do enjoy Florida Man reports. They are one of the funniest things on the planet. I don't know what's going on down there in Florida, but they need help. They need a little Jesus in their life. Either that or we need to completely nuke Florida off the planet. Just because. And don't get me wrong, they have Disneyland, Legoland, and SeaWorld. We can keep those. Just bring them up north a little bit more. But yeah, no. What is with Florida people? I don't understand. I get how there's good people who want to wake up in the morning, they want to grab their coffee and go. These are the people that wake up in the morning, shoot cocaine in their nose, and then they go and rob a bank with an alligator as their shotgun. That's the type of insanity that goes down there in Florida. Right? I don't understand that. It's funny because I was thinking about what do we wake up to? What do you wake up to? Please let me know. It's not that hard to reach out to me. I mean, when I wake up, I either get up and go, but I do enjoy a good light roast coffee. Light roast because you get the most caffeine out of that. I get up, get out of bed, roll out, check my texting, turn off the fan, and I I drag myself to the kitchen. That's what I do. I pop the coffee in, pop my toast in, make my peanut butter and toast, peanut butter toast, and by the time my toast is done, by the time my bread is done toasting, you can't just toast. Well, I guess you could toast if you think about it. But by the time I'm done there, my coffee's ready. I take a good sip of my coffee, and when I'm taking a sip of my coffee, I put in a second cup of coffee in. Why do I put a second cup of coffee? Because here's what you do. While you're eating your toast and peanut butter, you can want toast and peanut butter and your coffee. Your second cup of coffee is already being made. So by the time you finish your toast and first coffee, you already have your second coffee ready to go. It's brilliant. So that's my morning. That's my morning. That's what I do it for breakfast. Whether I'm going to work, or I'm going here to work on podcasting, or I'm just going to play video games. That's what I do. I have 2 cups of coffee in the morning. That's my gig. But I'm curious what other people do. Some people, they wake up, they go to Starbucks, they get themselves a Frappuccino in the morning. That little extra sugar gets them up and going. Some people, they don't even have coffee in the morning, and they just wait until maybe 10, 11, maybe lunchtime. or they finally get themselves a coffee, or they eat food, you know? One thing is important, you must eat your food in the morning. If I don't eat food in the morning, tell you what, I will be running out of energy very quickly. Very quickly. But those who somehow manage all day without eating, y'all need Jesus. I don't know. That's impressive. It is impressive. Yeah, I want to know. I'm curious because some people they enjoy tea. Some people have their own preference. I heard one person, they called tea just leaf water. I mean, you're not wrong, but just no, be gone. That's just wrong. Leaf water. I wake up to my leaf water every morning. I take my leaves straight out of the bush and I stick them in hot boiling water and call it tea. Well, yes, that's my leaf water in the morning. I guess technically you could call coffee bean water. Can we do that? Can we call it bean water? Is that legal? I wake up to my bean water every morning. Maybe I should just call this bean break. You know, not coffee break. What? Who listens to a coffee break? You know the amount of podcasts out there that say, "We are the cafe coffee podcast. We will become the best," and they like go on for 2 episodes and don't have the motivation to complete. Yeah, I sure hope this doesn't end up being the case. So yeah, we're gonna call this coffee cat. Well, we have the coffee cast, and then we have coffee break, and I'm just me. So, anyways. Yeah, I'm curious what people wake up to. But I want to know. Message me. It's not that hard. You can figure it out. I'll put some links down in the description. Literally, we'll be pointing an arrow down to comments. That's how easy it is. You know, one thing I find when being a small content creator, granted this is a hobby, I find it interesting that I can have, let's say, 100 plus subscribers or followers on a platform, and people don't come back. Like, I get it, we have the coronavirus, people are too busy, I get it, people are worried about work, or they have lives, but I am such a small channel that those who come back are those who are the most dedicated, and to them, I thank you, right? Because they're looking forward to my content. They know that I could probably put better out, and I should. But to those who come back, versus those who don't, it makes me curious, why did you subscribe in the first place? Was there some joke I said? Was there some piece of content I put out that overjoyed you? And would you think, yeah, I'll put my little bit of attention span into you? Because I mean, if anyone gets on YouTube, that's the first thing doing. Like, all right, I need to give my attention span to this person. I mean, let's look at big gaming YouTubers like PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, or Markiplier. They have millions upon millions of subscribers. People are dedicating their time to them because they see joy, they see anger, they see frustration and happiness in these people. Whatever they get, they gain something from them, and in return, the creators gain something from you. It's something interesting about being a small content creator. It's almost that joy of trying to create something new, this little ball of energy. I want to make it bloom to a beautiful rose. And I get it. Sometimes ideas don't kick off. Oh, I know my Uno series did not kick off at all. Nope. People did not want to watch that. Nope. But my Discord adventures did. My Discord adventures, people like that. It's a good compilation of just fun interactions I've had, and I genuinely enjoy editing that. My main problem is I don't find enough time for this. Granted, right now I found plenty of time, but I wish I could find more. You know? I guess if you're whatever you're doing right now, there's many people out there who want to start a YouTube career. They want to begin, and they have these great ideas. And granted, I'll see them. I will see these young creators, and they have these brilliant ideas, and they should bloom on them. Like I'm going to use a small creator that I know. I'm not going to name them, but they wanted to create a podcast, and they had a great thing going. They had great energy. They had great movement in everything was perfect, right? But what brought them down was their experience. Now, I'm not saying I'm this big YouTuber, I have all this equipment, but I put a lot of time into my hobby here. So even when I did have crappy equipment or crappy editing software or very little experience, I put my time into it. So maybe I shouldn't be saying they don't have enough experience. I should be saying they're not putting enough time. One thing Markiplier said is, if you're not proud of what you're putting out there, then don't do it. If it's not worthy, don't put it out there. It's funny for someone young to look at someone big like that and say, why would I listen to the big dog? I want to create something new. No. Listen to someone who has reached the top. Someone who has failed more. Someone who knows what works and doesn't work for his platform. So going back to the small creator is, he has such good energy, and I wish he would continue it. It's ironic because it was a podcast. And they did. They bought themselves microphones, and they had some recording software and whatnot. But the thing is, they weren't confident. They weren't confident or took enough time to think out what they were going to do. And granted, I'm a hypocrite because of what this episode is going to be. It's basically talking about what podcasting is and just general topics around it, waking up in the morning and what people enjoy. That was the goal of this episode. But when I looked at their content, they had great content, and I wanted to come back and I watched it again and again. But what made me stop was the amount of time they put into it. And granted, everyone's life is different. I understand it. But I wish they would have taken a step back and said, okay, when we record, we're going to take our time with it. We're not going to go super crazy, even though that's our style. We're not going to over-exaggerate. We're going to take our time. We're not going to abuse our equipment or do this or that. We might not even have the best equipment. We might even only have phones. But when we record, we're going to take our time, and we can still have fun. But that's what was their downfall. That's what made me disinterested, is even if they didn't have the time or they didn't take their time to learn, that downfall was they just went too fast. They weren't taking time to see where their downsides were. They weren't taking time to look around them, to take examples from those larger creators. Because it doesn't take much to steady a camera. That's one of my most infuriating things is moving shaky cameras. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much to try to respect your audio recorder. You know? These are just tiny little inputs I'm putting out there. I'm being vague about it. But the way they did it, they had great energy. Again, I wanted to listen to them. But it's because it was unbearable. Not the editing, not what the post. I'm talking about the pre. Because they did not take the time to think about what they were going to how they were going to record it, I should say. Because how you record it is going to immediately reflect how it's going to go in post. Okay, yep, I used the correct definition. Sorry. Post as in afterwards. Because what you record beforehand is what's going to directly affect what's in post. If I record something crappy, because I'm going to see that crappy audio and I'm going to see that crappy video afterwards, I can't edit it to make it better. This isn't like 1% recording, 99% editing. I am not that good. That's why I'm take your time. If you're small like me, just take your time. Maybe we're like, man, your voice is amazing. You have decent videos. You're taking your time with editing. Well, I tell you what, I would love to upload and edit every day, but I have work, and I understand that, and we've already established that, but I've taken my time to, even if I don't have the best microphone set up, I've taken my time to learn, and I've taken my time to create such a good pre-setting so that when I go to post, when I go to edit, it's easy. It's easy for me to see what to do. I don't have to make up for what I originally lost. And it's funny, to those who are listening, you might have just grown disinterested in what I'm talking about, but if you've been following me, then get what my point is. I love creating content. It's a fun hobby that I've enjoyed and has gotten me through a lot of stress. But when I see people, they have this tiny little bloom of a flower. When they have this tiny little bloom that they want to create, and I get it, it's all part of learning. It's part of me what part of me that is infuriated. And infuriation is a strong word, I should say, for what I'm describing. When I see that, I'm like, that could be amazing. And why isn't it? Because I was there. Because I failed. And I did exactly the same things they did. Because what infuriates me is what I see in other people. Where I failed, and I think, why can't they do better like I did? Why can't they learn like I did? That's what infuriates me. I find that very true when we look at one another. If I see a man who failed in a certain way, who is prideful like me, who has that sense of pride. And I don't think I'm super prideful. I know I am. But I've calmed down. I like to think I've calmed down. When I see a man who's full of pride, I'm thinking in my head, I was just like that. Why can he not see himself? Because he hasn't failed yet. He hasn't failed yet. He hasn't seen himself in the mirror. You know? I guess one thing is, I am always welcome to make suggestions. People, if you reach out through my Discord, I am always welcome to show you little tips and tricks of trade. In fact, I should actually make an episode, not a part of my Discord series or the podcasting. I should probably make an episode purely dedicated to editing and just the process of creating for small creators. From a small creator, right? And so when I see podcasts, when I see all this beautiful work that people have done, this time, this editing, this pre-thing, I think this is amazing. This is an amazing thing, and people love it. This is why we're here. This is why people create, is for the feedback. And let me tell you what, my feedback was no feedback. And the only time I got feedback was when it was good. So to those who want to create, to those who listening to this podcast who are just interested to hear my part on life, a small little creator, don't give up. If we can apply this to work, if you're in the trades and you want to become a master tradesman in whatever area you're at, electrical, plumbing, let's say construction, roofing, and you want to learn, don't just back off. Take your time to learn, to fail. And it's good to fail. You'll hear that a million times. No one likes to, but it's good to fail. Take your time. Learn from those around you who have already failed the most. Yeah. So I guess one thing is when I'm looking at this, we've covered a lot about just how we wake up in the morning, to how we do simple things like hobbies and work, to what we drink, to what gets us going, to how we motivate ourselves in life. I want you, dear listener, to remember something. I want you to know that this is just life. This is just a quick coffee break, and Heck, once you're done with this, you gotta get back to work. That's simple as it is. Welcome to life. This is only a tiny bit in the morning that I can give you. I can let you relax. I can let all this stupid editing, all this stupid worry in the world, we can all let it slide by just for a moment. And we can just have a laugh. We can just enjoy and get engrossed in conversation. You and me. Thank you. And that is going to have to do it for this first episode of 12. I hope you did enjoy. Please come back for the second episode. It does take me a while to edit and put these together, even though it's supposed to be a bit easier than my traditional videos. You can find me on Discord, and you can message me down in the comments below. I'm going to try to get this on Google Play and Spotify. Thank you.